Hi, I'm Dr. Andrea Labuti, and this is the Autism Journey video series. I created this series of videos to help address the challenges that come up along in our journey and specifically meet the roadblocks head on so I can save you lots of time and energy and money in going through this process. I hope that's my intention anyway. This is roadblock number 4. Um, Alternative treatment options for autism, yes or no? A lot of debate about alternative options for healing in general. Before I answer the question, though, I want to take you on a little story of my own about neurofeedback. This was a really profound event that happened for me when I started doing neurofeedback on myself. Now, for those of you that don't know, neurofeedback is basically brainwave training. You sit with electrodes on your scalp and you're watching a computer screen. You're either watching a video or a game, and your brain waves are actually receiving feedback, positive or negative, about its particular state while you're watching the screen. And it trains your brain to live in the more positive state than the negative, depending on which area of the brain you're training, so your brain can learn to live in a more balanced state, homeostasis. Lots of different applications for neurofeedback. Obviously, autism is one, but ADD, ADHD, post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety, depression, insomnia, peak performance, really wide range of applications for neurofeedback. So my particular story with neurofeedback was pretty powerful for me. I had been certified in the Othmer method, which is EEG info in Woodland Hills, California. And I had been doing all the basic neurofeedback, sort of balancing myself and my family. I had bought the system and learned the system for my family because I think we could all benefit from it. And after doing the basic neurofeedback, I decided to do alpha theta neurofeedback. Now, alpha theta neurofeedback is very specific for traumatic, like reliving traumatic situations, things that might be blocked or repressed that you can't get to because there's too much emotional overwhelm. Well, I was doing this alpha theta session one night and I had no idea what I was going to get. I knew that there were some things that I had blocked from my childhood. Not that I had a horrible childhood, but we all have traumas that we go through, mental, emotional, physical. And on this particular day that I went back to during the neurofeedback, I'll take you to what I had always remembered before neurofeedback. So I was 4 years old. It was a Saturday or Sunday morning, and I was up before anybody else in the household. And I went into the living room, and I was sitting on the sofa, and just above our sofa was an owl-mobile. Now, I'm not sure why we had an owl-mobile in our living room, but we did, and I wanted to touch it. So I stacked up all the sofa cushions, and as you might expect, I climbed on top, and for just a brief moment, I stood there before I came crashing down into the corner of the coffee table with my head. And 4 years old, very vivid, visceral feeling. I can still feel, the blood dripping down my face, and how fearful I was because of what happened. And I walked over to my parents' bedroom door, and I opened the door, and then everything goes black. Like that part of my memory just got put away somewhere, and I could never get past that. And I was always curious about that because, like, what happened when I opened the door, right? But for whatever reason, my little 4-year-old brain said, nope, too much, we're socking this away. So during an alpha theta session, I relived that. I went through it, I opened the door, and lo and behold, the experience that I had blocked was crystal clear. And, not to get into all the details, it was a reaction that I guess was too overwhelming for me at the time, but it made a lot of sense to me as an adult as to why, as a child, I would have blocked that reaction from my parents. But needless to say, it was really powerful in understanding what happened when I opened that door and how neurofeedback helped me get to that and, processing the pieces of my own healing journey. And one of the reasons I'm bringing this up, I'm talking about myself and not autism, is because I am a huge advocate, okay? A huge advocate for healing all of us, okay? And not healing autism or fixing autism, because I think that the wired differently part of autism is a huge benefit to our families, our society. But it's the unwellness, the imbalance in our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, our spiritual bodies that causes the problems and challenges in living out our day-to-day lives. And one of the reasons, again, that I use the neurofeedback example is I had a lot of my own healing, have a lot of my own healing to do. And thanks to my son with autism, things shifted and started pointing to me and my own inner health and well-being. And, so I just think that alternative modalities are good for everyone. Now, there's lots of modalities out there. Neurofeedback is one I love, again, for the whole family, for everybody who doesn't have anxiety or issues or insomnia or stress or, whatever the details of your own particular issues are. Neurofeedback's great for that. I also love NAET, which is a allergy elimination technique using acupressure. I love acupuncture. I love homeopathy. I love hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So the point is this. Do I recommend alternative therapies? Should you think about alternative therapies? Absolutely. Now you'll have to find a practitioner that you trust. You've got to, I like going by word of mouth, what works for some people, and then meeting with the practitioner and seeing if it will be a good fit for you, or trying a couple of sessions and seeing if it helps. The point is this: take your child for some alternative therapies, not because of the autism, but because of imbalances, and bring yourself along too, because we all need a little bit of help. And alternative therapies offer a great, safe, effective way to address restoring balance. So I am Dr. Andrea Labuti. Jump over to my website, andrealabuti.com. I've got a growing tribe of people that are having a different conversation around autism. This is an amazing population, and they have so much to offer. We just have to dispel some of the myths around autism. I hope you'll join me there, and I really appreciate your time today.